Hello everybody, welcome back. Graham here. Welcome to episode 15. Now, I just recapped on the last episode and I was very much positive about the outcome of the diagnosis, and the treatment plan was in full effect. And I had a discussion with my cancer specialist upon the results of the MRI. And he told me, and I went to the hospital, and the head of the department, the professor, he sat me down and went through in fine detail of everything I'd actually gone through the diagnosis stage, and then in detail told me exactly how this cancer was going to be treated. And I've detailed a lot of it through the diaries, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about how he explained through the HD of the pictures from the scans, how he was going to attack through now the radiotherapy. And he was really quite detailed and very precise on how he was going to target the prostate through the radiotherapy and reduce through the testosterone blockers the cancer, and that was starving any means of this cancer growing. And once it was reduced to the size that they could then target through the radiotherapy, a large part of the battle would then be won. Now, before I could have the radiotherapy, I was explained that the testosterone blockers had to keep on suppressing the cancer and reducing it. And my PSA would have to be back into the realms of normal, or not normal, but reduced to the point where there was a very successful outcome through the radiotherapy. And it really gave me a lot of food for thought on how, not just me, but the center was full of different people having, a diagnosis or a discussion of how their treatment plan was moving forward. And I remember looking around in the waiting room before I went in, and there was a good dozen people, all older than me, a lot older than me, but they were all going through different stages of their cancer. And I remember coming out of there and with quite a smile, and it was late into autumn, and I was thinking, let's just get to that radiotherapy stage. And I didn't know if it was going to be early January or late January, and it was just one of those things that we're working towards. And we got home, and my wife was again jubilant and very positive about how we're moving forward. But it didn't detract away from, again, all these side effects I was having. It was just another layer of being told exactly what had happened, what was currently going on, and where I was moving to next. And the only thing I remember of all these discussions was, I'm just so looking forward to Christmas. And it was, we were literally knocking on the door of Christmas. And my household, I do a lot of the planning, I do all the cooking, I gather all the presents and wrap them and plan for Christmas and the menus, and because that's the role I took on, and I had done for many, many years. I was always the one who was processing Christmas the way everyone loved to process Christmas through our household. And on my back of my mind is, yes, I was looking forward to it, but I really didn't have the energy for it. And anyone who's watching this and is going through this stage with me, or on a different stage of their journey, I'm sure you can relate back and go, yep, I didn't have the enthusiasm as previous years, or I wasn't really up to the challenge again. Because you are living side by side with cancer. You can't just forget about it. You can't just say, oh, well, this is the journey, but I've got everything back what I was before. You haven't. You are living with it on a daily basis. And I wasn't going to give in and say, well, we're going to have a much more, diluted Christmas. I still wanted the boys home, enjoying unwrapping their Christmas presents, me cooking the turkey, the gammon, all the things that we've always traditionally done. Having family members over. It was my little personal journey that I wasn't going to give into. I'd stopped drinking, having a little drink, years before. So it wasn't something I was going to miss by not having a drink. And I don't think I'd even have a drink, because that would send me to sleep straight away. But we did have one family member who'd come over from, Nottingham, and we'd always traditionally have a few drinks together and would plan what we were going to have and would cook. And I'll just quickly tell you the story. I did have a drink on that occasion, on that day, and it just sent me into, I'd lost everything, all the energy. And I was halfway through cooking and preparing the meal, and I had to say to my sister, I said, please, can you take over, because I couldn't do it. I was absolutely, not wasted or anything like that. I wasn't drunk. I was just, the energy just literally drained out of me. Maybe because I'd relaxed, and it was only one gin and tonic, I remember, but I'd relaxed and just couldn't carry on. I was just listening to everybody talking, but I just didn't have the energy to carry on and put everything on the plate. And I remember we cooked an amazing lamb dinner, and we'd serve, lamb with all the roasted lamb, mint jelly, prepared with garlic and all these other things, and rosemary. And we decided to have it with mashed potato, with mustard and lamb gravy, and it was absolutely delicious. But I just couldn't get to the point of finishing it off with the mashed potato. So, good on you, Karen, and well done for finishing it off. But we had a wonderful time on that occasion. And there's little memories that I look back on. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going through exactly the same processes, but I've dealt with it in a much more methodical way, rather than be in a reactive state all the time. I plan through, I know where my limitations are now. So if you're going through it, plan that way. Know what the restrictions are, know what your limitations are, and don't try and overcompensate anything. This treatment plan I'm going through is a lifesaver, absolutely 100% a lifesaver, but it is a journey, and it has to be treated like that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. It's an absolute honor. So see you next time, and thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.